Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going live here shortly, I think. Is it working? Something's up with OBS today. It's being funny. Had trouble getting it to detect the new game today. So as you guys can tell, there it goes. Okay, I can see it kicking in. Yeah, so as you can tell, it's not Cataclysm, but I see there's one or two Cataclysm of my Cataclysm fans in here. But don't worry, we haven't given up on that series at all. I just want to try something different. This is the Unreal World, obviously. It's a staple on my channel. It's a very old game, but it's still actively updated by good old Sami here since 1992. In fact, there was just a patch released very recently. So we're going to create a new character, start a run here in the live stream, and see if anybody's interested. I do get requests from time to time to keep, new series and stuff going with this one. But old but gold, like any real roguelike. There he is, Voom. Thanks for joining me, my friend. Are you familiar with this one, buddy? Have you ever heard of Unreal World, seen it, played it? I'm curious to know if any chatters out there. Let's see. Okay, we're going to start a new character here. We'll wait just a minute or two till some more folks trickle in, like I see if anybody's interested. And of course, if you're a Cataclysm fan, we'll get back to that too at some point. But basically, tried every true roguelike already. Right on, my friend. You and I have similar interests for sure, for sure. Oh, and somebody mentioned a game in yesterday's stream. Crap, now, oh, I wrote it down because I was going to say Vintage Story. Now, obviously, that's not the roguelike, but I looked that one up. It's not on Steam. I do remember this one, though. I've been recommended it before. I'm going to buy that one and actually give that a try. It's like Minecraft, but like in hardcore survival, it seems like. So it's cool looking. It's only 20 bucks American, so I'm definitely going to pick it up here shortly. But there's just so many games I want to try. Anyway, we are back here, guys. I see a couple people in, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get the stream started. Hey, Lord's here. Yeah, I checked out that a bit ago, but didn't buy it yet. Well, Lord, maybe we can do a series, and if you do like it, you can pick it up. Because, like I said, I'm gonna try that one out. I don't know exactly when, but definitely in the next week or two. So, I think my roguelike started from finding Cataclysm on Android. Oh my gosh, I've heard that some people play that game on the phone. But all right, so I'll kind of go through this and explain as though we've got people here who aren't super familiar with it. But this is a game I've played for many years, and I've got tons of series on the channel. And by the way, the links are in the description for all my Unreal World series. So we'll go custom. This is kind of the more difficult of the options. We won't be able to modify skills as much and take away points to, take away traits to give us more points to spend. This is just, like I say, one of the more challenging ways to start. Yeah, I trained it on the phone for at work and stuff, but it's so hard to play on the phone. Yeah, Lord, for sure. It's one of the reasons I changed my the font in Cataclysm so it's a little bit thicker and brighter was for people who were just watching on their phones and stuff, because I had somebody mention they couldn't see very well. So anybody got a preference? Normally I would go for the top of the list here, Comilanian. Let's see. Kind of wish there were more co-op roguelikes. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I wish that would be awesome in Cataclysm for sure. I feel like they can make it work too. We'll just go with the Comilanian. Make it quick and easy here. Male. All right. What should our name be here? Oh, that's always the toughest part of any run. I've literally sat for hours before thinking a name, so let's not do that. I got an idea. How about in honor of one of my newest Patreon, we shall name this character Lord. There you go, Lord. What do you think, buddy? This one's named after you. Hope he doesn't die in the first week, right? All right, so there's Lord's portrait. We can flip through several. Loom says the only ones I know are Mangband. Never heard of that. Pathos. And Wayward. I've played Wayward. I own Wayward. I've never heard of those other two you said though. Lord, this first portrait is kind of the coolest one here, so we'll go with that one for you, buddy. All right, now I've traditionally believed that starting in the winter is the most difficult because obviously you got you're facing down the cold and stuff. But someone mentioned in the comments of one of my previous videos that a summer start can be challenging too because there's very little berries and stuff. There's very little things you can pick during the height of summer, and also animals aren't quite as active. Dev said multiplayer is not possible. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. So we'll try a summer start here. Oh, look at this. Right off the bat, we've got a pretty decent character. He's not terrible, but I think we'll re-roll a couple of times here just to go through this. I'm going to be looking for strength, endurance, agility, and speed. Those are my big four. Intelligence and high intelligence is really nice, but everything else is kind of secondary. Okay. Ooh, look at the size of this guy. He's 241 pounds. It's one of the biggest guys in the game. I would guarantee it. He'd be a big boy. All right, let's keep rolling a little bit here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Taking a little break from the Cataclysm, but that's just temporary. We're playing some Unreal World. I realized I had never streamed this game before. I've done tons of series for it, and they're all linked in the description, guys. So after the stream, if you want to watch more, I've got a bunch, including tutorials on how to play and stuff. But I just wanted to see if there was any audience for this. Let's see. Also, I was just playing Cataclysm for my recorded series, so I was like, try something different. Ooh, this guy's pretty decent. Agility's off the charts here. He's kind of middling in size. 200's not bad. Let's keep going, though. Ooh. That's pretty thick across the board there. Look at this boy. 229 pounds. The only sad thing is his intelligence and will aren't super high, but that's okay. Let's see. Unreal World title guy. Battle weathered Iron Lord. Unreal character. PFP cosplayer. That's a lot of words, my friend. That's a lot of words. All right, so let's go with this guy. I like him. There you are, Lord. You're looking good, sir. All right, so these are our spells and magic means. We don't change anything on the screen. It's just for us to see what we get to start with. And I'll tell you that this one right here, greetings upon going to sleep, it's like a prayer you say before bed. It's actually really, really beneficial and lucky that we got this one. Lord, I haven't played this game in so long. Right on, buddy, right on. He just updated it recently. You know, this game holds a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for the oldest game still in active development, because 1992 to today, like I said just a couple weeks ago, he released a new patch for it. Pretty substantial too compared to like what he does. You know, sometimes he'll just release small little bug fixes, but this actually had content and stuff. So I've also got, I should note, this is modded too. I've got mods installed, so you're going to see a bunch of options when we get into crafting and stuff, which are not vanilla. But just thought I'd mention that. So here we are at the skills page. We've got 5 points to distribute. Now, if we, at the very beginning of the game, when we started off, if I had chosen easy or too easy, hey, what's going on, Theo? Thanks for stopping by. We could have taken points away. But right now, we're in the more difficult of character creation, so we can only add points here. So we only have 5 points to place. So let's put one in bow. Theo, we're doing taking a little break from the Unreal, from Cataclysm and playing the Unreal World, my friends. So this is an older roguelike, but it's one of my favorites. Yeah, we're going to play some Unreal World, buddy. Just creating our character right now. Going to jump into a little survival roguelike here. See if you guys are interested. If not, I totally get it, but just thought I'd mix it up. As I've mentioned, this is one I always feature on my channel quite a bit. I've got like 9 different seasons of this game. We'll put 1 point building here too. Profession of the character. There is no real profession. You kind of would choose a culture in lieu of a profession. So there are some cultures which are more focused on like archery or, you know, being an islander living off the oceans and stuff. The guy we chose, Kamalanian, is the culture. He's more of like a forestry guy. They're actually more of the fighter types. They're the bigger builds and stuff, stronger, heavier people. So they are more of the fighter type. We'll put one into hide working. I've actually got a tutorial series, like I mentioned, link below, and one of the videos just specifically goes over all the cultures. Hey, Ray Wilson, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Don't worry, we will be getting back to the Cataclysm content in the coming days. Just trying something a little different here. All right, so we'll pop in a point in carpentry. And I'm actually, I can't put more than one there. Let's drop back down to our combat skills. Theo says, can't it play on mobile like Cata? You know, my friend, I don't know. I would speculate and say no, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to speak to that with any certainty. So the knife skills are pretty important. The way we're going to be starting off, the only thing we're going to have is a knife and some clothing. So it'll be important to be, we're actually an expert at knife fighting, so that'll be helpful. All right, are we happy with this character? Not really, but it's all the points we had to spend, so we'll say yes. All right, we go into world generation here. Thanks for just dropping by the stream, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Trying something a little different here. Okay, so the little red square is us. This is where we'll appear in the world. The dark green parts are the flat lands. They're like the open, no trees. This is the best hunting ground, are these dark green areas. The blue is obviously water. The white speckled bits, that's the mountainous regions of this world. And if I hit the C button, the all-purpose tool of man, that's right, my friend. In fact, we're going to be starting on the most difficult, or arguably the most difficult scenario start. And you start with a knife because that's like kind of essential, you know what I'm saying? It's not, because you could theoretically make a stone knife, but it'd be tough. Anyway, we're going to pop on the cultures here. So now we get the colors up. So this is where the density of settlements will be. The purple over here, these are the bad guys. Every other culture we can trade with, we can safely enter their villages, but the purple ones are hostile. And if you enter, they will attack you on sight. Okay, so let's... Actually, you know what? I don't even like this world. Let's go ahead and regenerate the entire world. I'm going to hit W to re-randomize. Promise I won't spend all day on generation and stuff. And we're almost done. We're almost jumping into the world. I like this bit of area right up here. See all this dark, flat openness? It's so much easier to hunt. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so we're kind of smack dab here in the white owl tribe lands, but that's okay. Like I said, they're friendly. Let's see, pirates or animist. Animist, for sure, for sure. Yeah, if anything. I mean, this is a Finnish game. It's Sami, the developer, is a Finn guy. He's from Finland. But this is based on Iron Age Finland, too. Apparently, this is like the rough shape of one of the parts of the Finnish peninsula. I don't know, but anyway, we'll enter at this point here because we've got some mountains around, which is good, but we can also head eastward and come into these lands, which look really promising to me. So let's jump on in here. Okay, so we're almost at the last step here. Like I said, we're going to be going for hurt, helpless, and afraid. Wounded and left for dead, you struggle to survive in the wilderness. Now, arguably, this is the most difficult start because, like I said, you start with just a knife and some clothes, and you're wounded. And it's random. It can be pretty severe wounds. I've started off where I can't even stand up. We have to wait and heal. But like I say, arguably, because some people would consider Runaway Slave to be the most difficult, because this starts you in basically a combat situation. Do I not play a woman? I have played women characters before. I have a whole series of a female character. It's Athena of the Owl Tribe. She's still alive, too. We could visit her in her little home if we wanted, but let's go ahead and get started here. Yeah, there's functionally no difference between male and female. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think probably females generate a little bit smaller when you randomize their builds and roll for stats and stuff, but okay, let's go. Hurt, helpless, and afraid. Yeah, but honestly, culture plays a bigger effect, I think, on like the size of the person you're going to be playing with than the gender does. So if you are new, these are basically little tutorial walkthroughs here, the A and B. escape is what I'm going to do. This is just the general play. There's no guide here. If we were to choose living in the wild or advanced, little pop-ups would occur prompting us to like build a fire, then go hunt a deer and do this and do that. And you do get rewards for it. So if you're a new player, play one of these, but I'm not going to bother with that. We're just going to go for the pure Unreal World experience here. No tutorials, no pop-ups. All right, it's introducing the encyclopedia, which is great for game knowledge and for lore of the real life based on kind of history here. And we're getting into the world finally. We have spawned and we're completely on the ground. Oh my god, okay, I got to remember the keys for this game. I'm already trying to enter Cataclysm key commands and stuff, so we're going to have to watch that. Okay, so first things first, most importantly, let's check our inventory. Oh, yes. We start with the broad knife. Like I said, knife's guaranteed, and a random assortment of clothing. Luckily, we got a fur overcoat, which is pretty big. It's rough quality, so it's not the best, but 13.5 pounds. We can actually take this off if we really get desperate and make some cordage. We could rip some strips off this and it'll still be intact. But anyway, getting ahead of myself a little bit. So we see the inventory, no food, nothing like that, just the knife and the clothes on our back. Now let's try and stand up. Okay, good. He was able to stand up, which means like his legs aren't totally hurt. We could make gloves out of it. Let me see. Yeah, did we not? We don't have any gloves, do we? 100%, my friend. And if we were closer to the winter, that would be a huge priority. Yes, you're seeing this right, my friend. Eric Zaff, yep, buddy, I'm doing a little bit of Unreal World stream in 2024. That's right. It was actually just upgraded. Updated. The game was. Sammy did update it recently, but I've been doing a lot of Cataclysm streams in recent days, but I decided to mix it up today a little bit. So we're going to go to our skills page real quick, and we're going to check our physician, because this will give us a lowdown of how injured we are. Okay, so you can see a representation of our character here. It's not important, really. This is what we're looking at. You're playing a civilized person. Essentially, I mean, Iron Age people, 100% civilized. Sure, they believed in, all kinds of stuff, but they were civilized. All right, so let's see. I mean, if you're saying, am I going to role play like a wild person or not? We could. We could play a hermit and like never go into civilized lands if you want, and just try and like get everything built from scratch. We can try something like that. Because the name is Lord is not something you hear from natives. That's true, Theo. I named him Lord after, there he is, my Patreon Lord right there, Lord Nex. Yes, my friend, he is in the game. He's here, buddy. And you're injured, but not too bad. You got a minor puncture in the groin, so we'll watch out for that. But we could clean these and apply wound or compresses and bandages to everything, but honestly, there's no need. If it's not actually bleeding, it will just eventually heal on its own. There's no type of infections in the game. You can get sick from the flu, but not from, wounds, infection, or anything like that. For how long I live, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question, buddy. Don't worry, I'm a little bit better at this game than I am Cataclysm, so I expect you'll live for a long time. But let's see. Okay, just so you know, too, your character is only 16 years old. All characters in this game start at the age of 16 winters, my friend. So you're a young, fresh-faced little pup. But let's get into it. Samuel, hope you've captured by the enemy tribe, stuck in a prison with cunning pharaohs and no box truck to get away with. Oh, Samuel, welcome to the stream, my friend. Yes, we are playing something a little bit different, but I am having already trouble controlling my character because I'm trying to play Cataclysm here with the controls, but so no cutting pharaohs. You could say that the Nurpezit, who I mentioned previously, are, look, I'm already trying to hit the wrong buttons here. They are the purple tribes down here. These guys are cunning pharaohs because they will attack you on sight, but they're fairly civilized too. So All right, let's get back to some survival here. Boom, 16 says, 16 years back then meant you were a grown man with the body of a Greek god. You are 100% right. And that's literally why we just like are breaking out on our own. Because as a 16-year-old, we're pretty much middle-aged. And we are going to chop down this little bitty sapling right here. You can distinguish saplings from a full-grown tree, not only by their size, but the fact that I can just walk right over it. See that? As opposed to a tree like that, it'll tell me there's a young spruce in my way, so I can't chop that down because it's, well, actually I could because it's a little one, but we're going to take this down for some cordage. Beautiful. So it leaves a little sapling there. I'm going to grab that. Now it's in my inventory. We have officially picked up our first resource of the game. Second resource is going to be this stone. I'm just going to start randomly picking up crap here. The good news is we're not in a race against time in terms of the temperature. For this playthrough, I went with a summer start, so we don't have to worry about getting in a whole bunch of furs collected and start crafting clothing, which is a big challenge when you're approaching cold weather. Now, we will eventually, but I think we've got plenty of time. In fact, we could probably do some trading. All right, so let's keep looking around. And I'm just cutting these saplings down because they can be used for cordage, which is extremely important. And I don't want to spend all day doing it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it says that our performance is currently... yeah, it's poor because of the wounds we've experienced. So right now, we're not in great shape, but I don't think we're going to die or anything. We just need to stay on our feet and think about some food. All right, picking up some more resources here. I see a little stick over here. Let's grab this. Okay, so Nerpezit, that's right. It's Nerpicide. You know, Eric, I have an entire series called The Hammer of the Nerpezit, where I literally took a character and I wiped out every single purple settlement in the cluster. It was a different world, obviously, but that series is linked down below in the description, too. It was a challenge, let me tell you. It took a long time, but we did it. We managed to kill them all. All right, so, and that was true Nerpezicide. Stones into the north. Yeah, stones will be important, but these things are pretty heavy, too. You can see two of them are weighing me down with 28 pounds right now, but luckily our guy is pretty beefy. He's pretty strong, so I'm not worried yet. And we're collecting stones like this for some traps. We're going to want some traps. All right, so let's grab these. Goddamn. All right, there we go. And push. Now, we're currently in what's called the local terrain map. We're basically as zoomed in as we can get. Let's see, a peasant who becomes a warlord, kingdom come. But in Finland, that's right. So, we want to go to the world map real quick. So I'm going to zoom out here for full visibility, and I'm going to hit enter. And now we're on the world map here. So if I zoom into the local terrain like this, basically you can imagine like every step I take on this level is like one second. It's like a normal step you would take in real life. But if I zoom out, like every step here is like 50 steps or whatever. It's multiplied. I don't know the exact ratio, but time passes quicker. So you got to watch that. You will get hungrier and thirstier when traveling on the world map as opposed to the local terrain. But obviously we can see a lot farther, and we can start to plan out where we want to maybe settle down for the first time. Okay. Simple stone and stick trap. That's right, Theo. We will be setting up several of those here very shortly. So let's see. I'm liking what I see already. It's hard to distinguish, but you can see. Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be something like that. I'm sure that he's got a little like measurement down here. I think it's one space is 100 yards. So it's one step equals 100 yards, basically, I think. But anyway, so we can see the thicker trees here. This is the thick forest we just came from, and it's not really ideal hunting ground. What we want is this more open area. It's a bit marshy. There's water here, little blue specks. But if we zoom in, hey, what's going on? Tarako, hello. How much did I miss? My friend, we are only 24 minutes into the stream. All you missed was character creation. I will show you his skills real quick. We went with the custom creation, so we put 5, points throughout. We went with a point in knife fighting and bow skills, 1 in carpentry, hide working, and building. And of course, his physical profile is right here. You can see we got a pretty good roll. The only thing that's topped off is strength, but his intelligence and will aren't the best. But I did mention, too, that we got kind of lucky with our rituals, and we actually got the sleep prayer before going to sleep. So this right here will help us get in good with the spirit world, which is a factor in this game. There are spirits you can interact with and things like that. All right, so it's not essential. You could play this game just pure survival craft if you want, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we are now in an open marshland. You can see the tree cover is much thinner. This is where I like to do my hunting. So, I mean, it's so much easier to track animals and follow them, catch sight of them. Brawn with some brain cells. Right on, right on. Thanks for stopping by the stream, everybody. Trying out a new game. Well, it's not a new game. It's, in fact, a very, very old game, but new for the streams, that is. I've never live streamed this one. So anyway, we are going to set up a little shelter right here. I think this is a good spot. We've got a little pond of water just in front of us. We can drink from this. Of course, we can use it to process hides and skins that we get. And there's a tree right here, which is good for basically firewood and branches. I feel like Wayward was really inspired by this. Probably, my friend, probably. Like I said, this one's been around since 1992. Many people have played it, loved it. I still get lots of views whenever, not, relative speaking. I'm not talking tens of thousands, maybe a couple hundred a video. But yeah, there's still a lot of enjoyers for this game, no doubt. In fact, when we were playing Cataclysm, I don't remember which stream it was, but somebody brought it up in chat and asked me when I was going to do my next playthrough. Okay, we need some long sticks now. So we've got some good resources, branches, some sapling sticks, and we've got some stones and rocks. But what I need now are some long sticks to make a shelter with. So let's go ahead. First, I'm going to strip some of these branches. Repeat that task. There we go. And we're going to fell this tree with our knife. Gotcha. I tend to end up with building a small hut and smoking hut at a major river. Don't know why, but I always ended up... a lot of people like river. No, you do not need to boil water. Good question, Theo. All water in this game is drinkable. Imagine and even though this is based on real life Finland, imagine it's like an alternate dream kind of world where everything's kind of idealized. So there's no germs or anything like that, even though you do get sick, but not in the water, I guess you would say. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, you can even drink from like what is technically the sea or the ocean, which is a little weird. And when I first started playing, I was like, I don't understand that, but you just have to kind of suspend your disbelief. Yeah, no, river life is a big draw for a lot of people. If you set up on some rapids next to a river with rapids, you got access to water all year round. All right, so we're being interrupted here, but we're currently working on a shelter. It's going to be right on the edge of this little bitty pond. A bird just came into vision, and the game will pause and tell you that it's not a threat. It's just giving me an opportunity to like hunt it or whatever. But some animals could be a threat if they just wandered through here. Okay, so we didn't quite finish it. Unfortunately, my guy is not that skilled at building, so we're going to need to rest. There we go. We rested away our weariness, not our tiredness. What injuries did he start with? Let me show you, my friend. Good question. Pretty small amounts. Nothing that really hampered us from any major things so far. Like we were able to stand up. I imagine we'd still be able to draw a bow and arrow with these minor arm wounds, but we don't have one, so that doesn't matter really. But there you go. Good look at that. There's the injuries. We are on hurt, helpless, and afraid. That was the starting scenario. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink of the water. You can see our hunger and thirst bar. We got nothing to fill that, or to quench our hunger, though. Satisfy that, I should say. But what we are going to do is continue with this shelter. It's important to get some shelter up. Boom, there we go. Nice. The 3 C's of survival: cover, cordage, and Oh, crap, clothing, I think. I've forgotten one of them, but let's see. All right, so we have set up a nice little shelter here in the marshlands, which is good. The birds are flying all over the place. It's nice that we are seeing some birds, I'll say that, because right now we're going to set up some traps real quick. The three C's. Oh, you know how those survival people are. They like to make up acronyms and pin everything to like letters so they can remember it easier. But it's just one of those things you watch you pick up if you watch all those like survival shows on TV and stuff, which I used to be into a lot. All right, so I'm gonna keep. All right, I'm gonna drop these saplings here for now. Don't need that weight on there. Let's see, rabbit traps. The traps we're going to build, I'll show you here very shortly. They're called light lever traps, and they are capable of catching rabbits, but mainly we'll probably catch mostly birds with these. But like I say, if rabbits come through the area, I'm happy to catch those too. It's just so far birds are most prevalent, and that's what we've seen. So now here at the shelter, there's a little trick I like to do. We'll set up traps in other areas of the world, but right now we're just here at home. This is, in fact, let's go to the map real quick. Whoops. And I'm going to add a note here. I'm just going to say this is shelter. Oh, I turned the color, but I didn't. Shelter 1. There we go. Okay, just so I remember, it's easier to find it on the map too. So anyway, back to our campcraft here. We've got this set up. Now let's see, what were we working on? Oh yeah, the traps. So I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to come straight south. Okay, right to the edge, just so that my shelter is right at the edge of my visual range. If I turn around, you can just see it at the top there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place a lever trap right here. So we've got number 1. This is a very simple trap. In fact, the most simple kind. I mean, depending on what you consider a loop snare. Oh, there's a bird right there. Boom. Okay, so you can see the trap is set. And you know it's ready and active because it's got that little red ring. All traps you set, no matter what they are, will show they're active because of that. Okay, now if we zoom back out real quick, let's go to our shelter one more time. Yep, don't step in the water. Now you can see just barely at the edge of my vision, I can see the trap. So what that does is it keeps it within our visual range. Like in the morning, I can just wake up and look at my traps and see them. I don't have to travel anywhere, but it's also nice and it's a good distance. So we're not scaring any of the game, which might actually stumble into those traps. And like I said, we will set up traps at other locations, but we want something here at home base too. So no wonder it looked weird. I thought you were near a big lake. It's a pond. Yeah, these are all little ponds and stuff. We will come across large lakes and rivers, but this is just a marshland is what you can consider this here. All right, we're going to set up another light lever right there. Beautiful. Now you may be asking yourself, what about bait? That's a good question. And let me tell you something. In every one of the series that I've ever done on YouTube, somebody always comments and says, you got to put bait in your traps. It won't catch anything if you don't. And I'm here to tell you that that's simply not the case. You can leave traps completely unbaited and they will catch all kinds of animals, birds, wolves. It's really more dependent on if you've seen animals in the area. It's one of those things like location, far more important than what you're baiting it with, in my experience. And again, you'll hear different, possibly, but let's just see here, because we're not going to bait a single one of these because we have no food to put in them. So anyway, just mentioning that. Now that was the last long stick I've got. So if I want to place a 4th trap here, I'm going to need to cut down another small tree, which isn't a big deal. There's plenty of them around, so let's do that real quick. Try and stay zoomed in as much as possible for you guys, but there are points where I'll need to be zoomed out just to see maximum visibility like this here. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these. Don't want to carry all 5. They're pretty heavy. Let's see, Eric says, single traps or if you rely on trapping skills as well as bait. But if the right animal steps on it, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. There are, like, I'm setting out these little bitty traps. You're right. If an elk were to step on this, he would just crush it. You know, he's not going to get caught in this. 100%. It matters what kind of trap you set, but bait is not important. It might increase your chances, but I'm just saying you don't need it. Okay, so we are missing 1 stone thanks to my lack of preparation. So what I'm going to do is drop the slender trunk there. In terms of an elk, here, I'll show you. Your best bet if you're hoping to catch elk is the pit trap or trap pit. And you can do spikes in it so it will kill the animal basically when it falls in. I prefer a trap pit without spikes because it preserves the animal alive. So you might not get back to wherever you've got your trap for a couple weeks, you know, and the animal will be rotten by then if it's been killed on contact. But anyway, trap pit is probably the best for large game. Although you might be able to theoretically catch one in a bear trap, I guess. But let's see. Sinew rope. Okay, so 1 more stone here. Just thinking, it's rare to see stones in the marshlands like this. We're better off near water. You find a lot of stones on water, like next to lakes, and of course near mountains and stuff. But tell you what, we've got 3 traps set. That's a good start. Let's pop out to the world real quick. You know what? Scratch that. I just realized it's evening. We're tired right now. So I'm not going to go out and do some hunting. Tell you what we'll do. We'll come over to some of these herbs or berries. Let's inspect these here. Okay, so there's cloudberry bushes near us, but they won't be fully ripe for many more months, it says. Okay, here's something up here. This is another kind of herb or berry. Okay, we've got bald berry shrubs. Let's grab some of these. Rav says, oh yeah, Unreal World stream. That's right, my friend. We are doing some Unreal World today. Oh, these aren't ready yet either. Just still growing. Damn it. All right. Trying to find something we can just nibble on. One thing I'll tell you too, in the Unreal World, it's extremely difficult, if not near impossible, to survive on just plants and berries alone. You need meat in this game. I think with some of the mods I've got installed, because there's a whole bunch of like recipe options, you might be able to subsist on vegetarian food if you really tried and got creative, but just for a straight up vanilla playthrough, you're going to need meat. Alright, so there's just nothing around. Boy, oh boy, the person who suggested the summer challenge was not kidding. We may not have to worry about temperature, but there's literally like no herbs right now. At least not nearby. There might be in some other regions, but oh well. Keep looking around. Let's see here. Meat for iron. Heck yeah, buddy. If we get a good kill, if I come across an elk or a reindeer or many other animals, we're going to go for it. Hopefully we can get a hunt going on. There's a bird. I'm not going to hunt birds, though. That's a futile attempt here. Let's see. You can subsist on cloudberries while they are abundant. They will rest and keep starvation for a little while. Yeah, unfortunately, they're out of season right now, my friend. Cloudberry bushes are right here. We just looked at those. And, yeah, they won't be ready for many months, it says. So, protein is just condensed iron. Oh my God, the nutrition. I'm learning new things. Oh, I think that bird was about to fly into my trap. All right, to tell you what, let's just hit the sack. We're going to go to bed. We'll zoom in here, and in the morning, we'll see if there's any birds in our little traps. Now, since we're essentially starving right now, it's hard to sleep. He keeps waking up, so I have to like force him back to bed again and again. But once we get food, it won't be so bad. All right. So it's the small hours of the morning. We just slept. And let's see here. We're going to zoom out. We don't have full visibility, so we actually do need to kind of stumble our way towards the traps a little bit. Okay. Nope. Nothing in the traps yet. No worries. I think we can wait. So we're going to leave our little shelter, and we're going to explore the greater world around us real quick. This is nice, not having to worry about freezing to death. That is the big benefit of summer. So you can see I'm just doing a quick and easy circle. Okay, so now we've been interrupted in our travels by an ermine, which is kind of like a weasel animal. And it's asking, do I want to zoom into the local terrain? I'll just say yes here and show you guys. Normally, I would probably not attempt to hunt an ermine, this tiny little animal right there, in and amongst the thick trees of the forest. But like I said, just to show you guys, there he is right there. Woo, 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 little guy. And I don't have anything but the knife, too. Now, there are ways to hunt animals without a bow and arrow, and we will get to that, hopefully, but the ermine is not my target. Oh, look. This is, though. Oh, damn it. Blueberry shrub will be ripe after a few months. Dang it. Dang it, dang it. Do I have good tracking? As a Kamalanian, our tracking skills are pretty darn good. We are skilled at tracking, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, yeah, we could theoretically track that animal through the forest for sure. But it's a little bit it's too small of a reward for too much effort, if that makes sense. Because an ermine like that would probably provide us with 1, maybe 2 cuts of meat. I would eat that. It probably wouldn't even chase away the starvation, and then we'd be back to square one. And we'd be down all the time it took us to capture it. So in other words, I'm just going to keep traveling, looking for bigger game in an area which is more conducive to what we would call attrition, or there's other words for it, but a hunting where you just wear the animal down. All right, let's move. I need to get a drink here real quick. Take a quick drink. All right. We don't have any canteens or anything yet. Eventually we can compensate for that. But okay, we can see real quick that I am up on top of a mountain. These little gray blobs here, these are the mountains and hills of the region. And when you stand on them, you can obviously get a much better view of everything around you. So that's kind of what I'm working on here. Persistence hunting. Thank you, Theo. I don't know why that term escaped me, but you are 100% dead on. And that's a real hunting technique that our ancestors used and people still use to this day, parts of the world. But yeah, and we can 100% use that in this game. Hopefully bag us a nice big kill without firing a single shot. So far, I haven't spotted any animals yet. Let's just look at where we're at. Okay. We should be heading in this direction. I think this... Oh, okay, he's getting real tired. We're just going to sleep out here on the world map. Since it's summer, we don't have to worry about, like... hypothermia or anything. It's just going to be a pain because there's a lot of rain here. So let's stand up again. Okay. And I'm going to want to probably go to the shelter just so we can get a full 8 hours real quick. Was it down here? Let's see. Yep, we're in the Owl Tribe territory. That's right. Oh, we just encountered a reindeer. Check this out. All right, so we're going to zoom in. Nice, nice. You see him right there? Boom. If only we had encountered this animal out in the open. Okay, there's a few of them. Usually reindeer do travel in herds. I'd like to hunt this guy down, one of them, but again, in the trees, it's extremely difficult. Let me just look here real quick what we got. I'm going to zoom in. So there is some open land to the south, which is actually where we built our shelter. This is me. There's our shelter. I can see the darker green around it. Maybe we can chase these animals out into the open land. Okay. The reindeer are now running from me. They've seen me. And they're ducking through the woods and stuff. All right, let's zoom in real quick. You can barely see it because it is raining, so visibility isn't great right now, but there's a track right here. So, yes, southeast. Thank you, sir. So we can use those tracks to follow the animals. And again, it's easier if it's not raining. Now, okay, there's tracks everywhere. There's one of them right there. There's at least 2. Probably more that we just didn't see because of all the tree cover. Okay, there's his tracks. Still haven't spotted him. Oh, and one thing I should probably try is to go into stealth. You can see my character Now he's in out of stealth. He's just normal. If I hit H to go into stealth, he becomes like green, like the surrounding area, to signify that he's being stealthy right now. Travel a little bit slower, but obviously your visibility, you're harder to see. In this situation, it might be good. But, oh, okay, so we just got spotted. Yeah, the reindeer seems to notice your hideout, so that broke my stealth. Blending in with the forest, exactly, my friend. And he flees. I didn't see him, though, personally. Where did he go? Well, we're heading south, so that's generally the area I'm trying to chase him to. Oh, there's his track right there. Okay, if I use my tracking skill, it will actually tell me the fresh forest reindeer track is running to the southwest. Okay, and I can actually see the rest of the tracks. Okay, just looking for him. I don't see him, and I've lost his tracks at this point, but that's okay. We're going to keep pushing forward. Again, the intention was trying to flush him out into the open, but my shelter is just down here to the south, too. This is a bit farther than I expected it was going to be. All right, tell you what, we're going to zoom back out. We will give up on those reindeer for now. Ooh, this is potential right here. We got ourselves a squirrel. Don't worry about the reindeer. We'll get something big here. Okay, we're about to take out this little squirrel here. Yeah, he saw me. Okay, get in a tree. Ha ha ha. Oh, damn, he got back down. Let's see. Using F3 instead of the tracking skill will give you the directional F3. Really? Okay, I'll try that. Oh, that you're next to without spending time in game. The flip side is it doesn't level up tracking. Oh, interesting, Eric. Thank you for telling me. I did not know that. All right, we're going to actually start to run a little bit because I don't want to lose sight of this guy. All right, there. Perfect. Once we corner him in a tree like this, we got him. All right, as long as you can see the tracks. I see. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we are now literally standing next to a small little tree with a squirrel in it. And there's no trees neighboring. These two are close, but they're not touching the tree. So in other words, the squirrel can't move from tree to tree in this situation. If we were in a big, thick forest, he would. It'd be impossible to hunt the squirrel. Not impossible, but hard. So right now, I'm just going to take these little rocks I've got, and I'm going to toss them up at the squirrel. And that one scratched its foreleg. Let's go for another one. Hit the tree. We hit him. But, hold on, let me wheel my knife real quick. Okay, no, he's too high up, so I gotta grab my stones again. They're laying here on the ground. And we will continue to throw. Just going for body shots. We hit him again, but we haven't knocked him down. We hit the young pine. All right, keep grabbing my stones here. Ooh, flies past the squirrel. Oh, man. All right, don't worry. We can take a couple steps here. Grab our stone. He's not going anywhere, I tell you that. Haha, we got this guy. He's already a little banged up, too. I'm actually surprised he hasn't dropped out of the tree yet. There it is. All right, now he's down. He's down. I've got my knife in my hand here, so I'm actually going to attack this with the blunt edge of my knife. I'm not going to use the sharp edge because I don't want to damage its fur or the skin, which we'll use for bartering, hopefully. So we're going to go for the head, knock it unconscious, and blunt to the skull. And it's dead. All right, so we will grab that little guy. Let's take a look at him. 0.7 pounds. So it wasn't a lot. Again, this was a very small kill, but you can see it was kind of minimal effort there. It wasn't a really challenging hunt, certainly. And like I say, the squirrel fur will serve us for trading. Pummeling it to death. Yes, sir. That's right, Theo. All right. Let's see if we... Okay, perfect. Oh, I didn't mean to sleep, actually. That's okay. We can get up now. Let's zoom out and just look at the traps. See, I can see them without having to move. and I can tell there's nothing in them, sadly. That's okay. We got ourselves a little squirrel boy here, so let's drop him. We're going to go through our first skinning and butchering process. So the squirrel needs, or the any animal needs to be at your feet. Now I'm going to hit skills, H for hide working, and S to skin it. There we go. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. All right, now we've got a skin, a fine squirrel skin. Ooh, look at that. Nice. We're going to go ahead and butcher the animal first as the next step. All right, so now we've got squirrel fat and meat and the skin, okay? So that one little piece of meat, like I said, that's not going to help us overcome starvation. I'm actually going to go ahead and sacrifice it, believe it or not. So we're going to sacrifice that cut to the gods. It says you gently place the squirrel cut on the ground as a sacrifice, and we feel at ease, despite the rumblings in our stomach. And that means, of course, that we're getting in good with the spirit realm here in the Unreal world. So what we can do with the skin and the fat is to prepare it. Now we need to clean the skin. And of course, for this process, you need water, which is why I'm standing next to it. If I was over here, it would tell me I need water, and I can't do it. You got to be next to the water. Okay, so the next step is to actually tan it using the fat from the animal itself. There we go. Tanning with the fat. Yes, sir, Theo. You know it. There is no brain tanning in this game. I know that in real life you can tan with the brains of an animal, but or tallow, no. It's just fat and bark tanning. There are certain kinds of trees in the real world, such as alder and rowan trees, which have a high amount of tannin in their bark. So we'll actually probably cut a few of those bark patches when we find the right trees. But anyway, so we will note that the fat is no longer in my inventory because it has been used completely on the skin. But the skin is just in stage 1. So it's at the ground right now, but I can't pick it up. When I attempt to, it tells me it will be ready in a few hours. You may not pick it up yet. So tanning and processing a hide like this, no matter the size of the animal, big or small, is a multi-stage process, you know. But I will tell you that the size of the animal matters on how long it takes, because if you got an elk here, it would take like half the day for this one stage alone. But hopefully we'll come across that problem shortly. Anyway, let's go to bed. Okay, he's waking up because he's starving. All right, good. I'm going to grab the skin. It is ready now. And we'll go through the next stage with it. This stage, you don't need any fat. All you need is water to soak it. No birds in the traps yet. So this thing will be ready in a few hours, it says. Let's take the opportunity to go ahead and do a little hunting again. I want to look at the map. I'm tempted to head up to these areas where it's dark green, because again, it's open, easier to track animals. But then again, I know that we want to go we want to go eastward. So I'm going to head in that direction instead, even though we haven't really explored it yet. I know there's better hunting grounds over here. Okay. Oh, the shallow cut in our hip has healed. So as we progress along, these are healing, and it will notify me once they've healed. As I mentioned early in the stream, there's no infection in this game. You can get influenza, you can get sick, but that's a totally separate thing. Ah, okay, interesting. We just came across a settlement here. So if we go to the world map, the villages are indicated by the yellow square. There it is. Somebody, Theo, didn't you suggest that we should do a hermit playthrough? I'm okay with that. Let's see, Owl Tribe. Yes, it is an Owl Tribe village. You want to go in there and visit them? There's not much reason to do it because I don't have any trade goods. Well, that's not true. There could be a quest there. Oh, do you see it? Do you guys see it? Oh, there's a big grizzly bear right there, just to the south of us. Why couldn't it be an elk, right? Yeah, I'm not going to be hunting a grizzly bear right now. If I had a pack of canines with me, I might, but yeah, I'm not gonna. You know, another thing we could do if we had food right now, if we had already gotten a kill, is I could hire a hunter from this village, and then we could try to fight the grizzly. There's no guarantee he wouldn't get himself killed, but you can also hire multiple people at the same time. We just don't have any food though, so that's not really an option. But earlier, I did mention that I was able to wipe out the Nerpezit, which is the enemy faction in the game. I have a series, in fact, which is linked down below where we did that. That was how I did it. My character didn't do it all on his own. We hired people from surrounding cultures. I had to kill a lot of animals to get the amount of meat, but we would hire a bunch of mercenaries from the surroundings, and we would just take army after army into their territory and hit village after village, wiping them out. It was fun, but yeah, took a lot of kills and a lot of mercenaries killed. Okay, we got, oh my god, look at this. The freaking dangerous wildlife in this region is thick. We've got a wolf pack right here. Meat is the main currency. I wouldn't say it's the main currency. It's one of the trade goods. It's one of the viable trade goods. But if you want to hire someone to go with you, they are going to ask you to feed them. Now, they're going to also ask you to pay them. You know, they're going to want something in return. You can give them more food or furs or tools or weapons, but they're always going to want you to feed them in addition. So, good question. All right, let's zoom back out. We'll go into the village real quick just to show. Oh, we just passed out. Yeah, this is actually a good opportunity for our character to get a solid night's sleep real quick. So let's move. Boom. Go into the settled area. All right, I'm going to stand up. We'll greet these people on our feet. Here we are in the Owl Tribe settlement. Now this is a northern tribe, so they're going to have like tents and stuff, but there are cabins. Like the southern tribes will have cabins they'll live in, like fully fledged buildings. But here they are. These are the people of the Owl Tribe. Let's go ahead and greet some of them. Hello, old man. Oh, look at this. Greetings, traveler or stranger. I see you have an eye for herbs. I just might have use of your knowledge. This is a quest. We just picked up a quest. If we choose to accept it. Yeah. I'm available if my herb lore skills are of any use to you. That's what we'll say. That's good to hear. My store of healing herbs is growing low, but my duties around here leave me too little time. So I need you, if you know the local herbs and have the time, perhaps you would like to help me out and find something. What do you need? We need 40 pinches of stone crop leaves. Okay. I would be very grateful. Got it. I'll bring them to you soon. Gotcha. Now, we just accepted a quest. Let's go to the quest journal. There it is. It's our first one from the old Owl Tribe man. I didn't even greet him, like tell him my name. Let's do that real quick. All right, so I just went through the motions of greeting him and introducing myself. Still didn't open that up there. That's interesting. But you can see this expires in 30 days here, and we basically get the text. If we forget what we were doing, we can look over it. But it's important for this quest because this might be tricky to find. We're not going to find all 40 of those in one place, and I don't know what the hell stone crop looks like. So what we'll do is we'll continue our hunting and stuff, but I'm going to be using my herb lore skills, which is skills E. Hit the E button. And boom. I'll be trying to identify different herbs that we come across here, like these right here. We don't know what that is, though, so that's unfortunate. But anyway, let's go ahead and grab a drink of water before he dehydrates to death. And we're going to take a little nap here in this village. Oh, don't go into the water, buddy. Okay, going into the water at this time of the year wouldn't be that bad. Just cool us off. Let's see. When I hear stone crop, I can only think of that grows on stones. Oh, that's a good thought, my friend. That's certainly worth checking out. Like I say, we will go about our travels, but I'll check the various different herbs that we come across as we're hunting around for animals and stuff. We'll definitely try and complete this quest, and if we do, he'll probably give us a little credit towards trading and stuff, which is good. But for right now, we're just going to borrow their tent. They don't mind if we sleep here as long as we don't try and steal their stuff or eat their food without permission, or trading for it first, I should say. But we are starving. Now, you may be curious about starvation. It is lethal and you can die from it, but of course, just like in real life, it takes many weeks to die of starvation. Thirst, you'll die of, in a day or two if you don't find water, but it's obscenely easy to get water in this game. Food is a different story. So what you need to watch out for is this bar. Says starvation above it. When this fills up, that's when you become at risk of fatally dying from starvation. We have just started to peak out there with that little red bar, so we're okay. It will affect his physical performance, though. As we start to starve more and more, it's going to become harder to do things, so that's a consideration, but we're doing everything we can to find some food. Speaking of which, let's get back out there in the world and look around. Okay, there's some people. We're going to avoid any wolves or bears, but we will be looking for some elk, some reindeer, tons of stuff out. Oh. I just saw something. Damn it, where it disappeared. Zoom in real quick. I swear I saw a reindeer right here. Where'd you go, you little son of a gun? They can play games with you. And alternately, I do experience hallucinations from time to time, so that's a consideration too. But all right, so I've zoomed into the local terrain map just in hopes of maybe spotting the reindeer or maybe their tracks if I did actually see some. Okay, let's zoom back out. Not going to spend all day in the area, but sometimes it helps just to move back and forth a little bit and then zoom in. Because the animals don't leave the area immediately, necessarily. Okay, not seeing anything. Let's grab a little drink here. And then we'll head back out. We'll just move on. Okay, that's such an important part of hunting, especially in this game, but in real life too, I imagine, is knowing when to quit. Knowing when to give up and say, you know what, there's no animal here, or this animal that I happen to be chasing, I'm not going to be able to catch it. Or if I keep trying, I'm just going to kill myself. So sometimes you have to give up. But that's okay. So as long as we don't starve, by tomorrow, there's always another day. Okay, we've come pretty far from our shelter. One sec. You can see it's marked over here with this yellow X right there. Boop. But that's okay, because we can just build another shelter. In fact, if I come across an elk or something we can hunt, I'll probably just butcher it up and process it right where we kill it. So in other words, we'll build a shelter on the spot. Damn. Whew. Alright, so it's time for bed again, believe it or not. Another night goes by, and we haven't eaten. Not a single thing since the start. So, you know what I'm realizing too? Damn it. I probably ruined that squirrel fur. I didn't mean to stay gone so long. Let's rush back to our camp. But being as it's the summer, damn it, I probably screwed that. Let's just see. Or if it's not rotten, it probably lost a level of quality. But that's a good learning lesson, I guess. Anybody out there who's new? Oh, yes. Okay, so unfortunately, the fine skin that I had initially cultivated by, through my skills has turned harsh. And that's specifically because I let it lay there in the hot sun for too long. If I had waited and forgot for much longer, it would have started to rot and it would be completely useless. Now we can still finish this skin and trade it away. It's just going to be worth a lot less than it was probably as a fine skin. But I am glad that we didn't totally waste it. So, okay, so there's a couple of things we're going to need. But first we do need to sleep just a little bit. Okay. Let's get up, zoom out, and we've got to find a log real quick. Hopefully we find this quick. Let me look at the skin. Okay. Hasn't rotted yet, but every moment that passes is a race against time with this stupid squirrel skin now. Oh, I usually always do that. After like not playing for a long time, I'll like let the first skin rot because I forget about it. But after that, I remember. All right, so here we go. We found ourselves a tree trunk. This is a very important resource because when you're finishing up a skin, you have to beat the wet skin out on a large surface that's hard, like a hard surface. You can use a table if you have a home you've built yourself, but a log will also work. That's why I'm taking the time to haul this all the way back to our shelter. Even though if you notice, it is increasing my endurance level here. See this negative 73? When that reaches 100, I literally can't move my character. He's locked in place because he's like just totally tired. All right, so we're going to push that onto that tree there. Even though he's tired, we're going to force him here. No, he's too tired. We got to sleep again. Okay. Stand up, sir. Boom, we did it. Oh, it almost killed me, but we have ended up with our very first fur, and it's a harsh squirrel fur. So I'm going to drop that. It's not a lot of weight, but any amount of weight does make a difference when we're out there hunting, chasing animals around and stuff. All right, let's drop that. Okay, sorry, I had to take a drink there. Now, we're going to sleep. It's late afternoon. Our sleep schedule's all off now. We're going to be awake at nighttime. Yeah, we're vigorous now, which means we're like fully rested, and it's early evening. So he's a night owl, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and want to check all the traps there. Nope, so far no birds in the traps. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see here. All right, I'm just looking. This looks like a promising area right up here. I think we'll return to that general spot. Now there's really no reason to return to that shelter unless we need to for some reason. I mean, there's no skin that I need to process or anything. Okay. It's getting dark, but luckily I can see there's a full moon right here. You can see it coming up over the horizon. So we'll probably have some good visibility even at night. Oh, we just found another squirrel. I'm not going to bother with it. Okay. Yeah, the squirrel is just, you know, that small game like that. Oh, there it is, folks. There it is. Our salvation has just arrived. The heavens have opened up and delivered us an elk. Do you see it? Do you see that big girl? So there she is on the world map. Of course, I need to encounter her, and we can zoom into the local terrain and get the hunt started. There we go. So we've merged with the elk, which means we're forced to go to the local terrain map. I'm going to have to stay zoomed out during this hunt. I'm also noticing, too, that our visibility is garbage. This might actually be harder than I thought. But first things first, let's take a look at the animal. It's always an important step is to keep track of its condition, because what we're going to try and do now is to fatigue this animal so much that it cannot run away from us. It gets so breathless that I can literally walk right up to it and club it. That's the goal right now, because again, no bow and arrow. We are just doing the persistence hunting, attrition hunting. It's got many names, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so one thing to note real quick, again, for all the new people out there, the animal is not yet spooked by me, which is weird, but here in a moment, I'm actually going to try and throw a rock at it. Okay, there it goes. It's running now. Okay, we missed it, but it's hard to see because, again, it is raining, but it's got a little bitty dust cloud underneath it, which signifies that this animal is now sprinting, okay, which is extremely important for persistence hunting because we want to keep it in that state of sprinting as much as possible. And if you look at it, it says it's escaping, which means it's currently sprinting. Now, we have gotten it to the first stage of fatigue, which is a little bit fatigued. So we need to get it down even farther. And it will eventually literally say the animal is breathless. That's the goal. All right, so let's zoom back out. And I'm going to start to sprint after it myself. Now, obviously, a huge elk like this can run probably 30 miles an hour, so there's no way I can actually keep up with it, but we keep the pressure on it. When I lose sight of it, what I do is I come to the place where I last found its tracks, and then I try and determine which way it went, and we try and regain sight of it. There's the tracks right here. I'm following them. And again, okay, so we did see it. It's a little bit fatigued still. It's uninjured. If I were to shoot it with a bow, which I don't have, but it would also show in that little window there. It would tell me if it was injured or anything like that. Okay. She's moving around a lot. Her tracks are going everywhere. Northeast. Oops. And you know, I was going to say with this very, very poor visibility we've got, I might actually have to wait until the sun comes up a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is pop back out to the world map. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to step away from that area for just a moment. We'll try and sleep a little bit here. We are tired. I'm just going to let time pass because it's too rainy to sleep right now. Okay, I want to zoom in real quick. Okay, still not great visibility. There we go, we can sleep. Okay, we rested for a little bit. The sun's not fully out yet, but I think, okay, beautiful. Our visibility is perfect. Now you see we can see the full screen. This is what we want for hunting. And don't worry, we're not totally out of luck yet. We might be able to still scare up that elk if we can find her again. So let's zoom back out. There's a trick to it, but you just got to be patient, not give up right away. This is the general area where we saw her. Of course, it's been several hours now since we slept and stuff a little bit and the sun's come up, but she's going to be somewhere in the region. So I'm either hoping to run across her or her tracks at this point. Oh, there's the tracks. Okay, these are quite fresh, leading northwest. These might be the tracks we actually were following on when we lost her. But they do say they're fresh, so I'm going to keep following these tracks. They're extremely hard to see because of the stupid rain. But I'm keeping an eye on them here. Yeah, this is the area where we lost her. Let me just zoom out real quick. Okay. So in other words, I'm not sure which direction she went from here. Okay, here's some tracks. Okay, what do we got? Let's just look. These are leading south. Just hoping I spot her at the edge of the map again. I'll just jump back out to the world map real quick. Sometimes you'll be doing this, searching the local terrain. It's good to jump back out to the world map occasionally because you might spot her at a distance, you know, a little bit farther off if she's moved away some. Let's take a quick little drink. Okay, we haven't given up. And if we can just see, if I can just get my eyes on her one more time, I'm going to be very happy. Okay, back to the tracks again. Okay. Oh, she's got tracks everywhere here. She's been through here. No doubt about it. This is also one of the challenges of hunting in the same area over and over. Sometimes you can get confused about which tracks are the ones you should be following. Oh, okay. Which way do these go? Okay, these are leading south. These look promising. See, they're on a straight line. So, oh, damn it. And they come into a whole group here. God, she must be close. Let me zoom out real quick. There she is. You see her? Yep, she's still in the area. Okay. So our patience has paid off. So let's encounter her again. Now, I'm not in a perfect... Look, she's trying to sleep. She is sleeping. I'm not in a perfect situation right now because of this negative 33%. This isn't ideal. Remember, if this reaches 100, we've got to rest, and we've essentially lost her. So we are very much trying to outpace this elk. All right, so she's asleep. Let's toss a rock at her to wake her up. I don't expect this will hurt her too bad, but okay, it did scare her awake. Got to go to full zoom, so I have maximum visibility, and we're just going to follow her. Okay, thank God. So we've got a bunch of tracks here, but the key, oh Christ, is to try and follow the fresh ones. Okay. Too many damn traps here. Okay, this isn't good. Yeah, I was hoping I would have already spotted her again. Damn it. Her traps killed me. What's that, Rav? See fast? Not sure what that means, buddy. Oh, southeast? Southeast. Okay, yep. Good call. Good call. Zoom out real quick. Damn it, definitely lost her again, but yeah, these are the right tracks. This is kind of good, though. If we can push her a little bit farther away from where she's been running around in circles, maybe it'll be easier to follow her there. Oh, no, I thought I saw her. Nope, it was just a tree. Okay, this is where the tracks end. Oh, okay. Look at this. Damn. Can't see her. Well, I'm almost to the point of giving up, but not quite yet. I will continue to search. We're tired again, but it's only early morning, so I've got an idea. Let's just back up a little bit. Look around. It's no guarantee. Okay, we're back to the tracks here. Oh yeah, she's really cluttered this whole area with her freaking footprints. Yeah, I'm thinking we move to a different spot. Damn, that was close, but it's hard for me to tear myself away from that too. But like I said, you got to know when to just give up at some point. That area is just too cluttered with tracks. I think we'll be fine, though. We're going to get something. Let's go ahead and move. There we go, until it stops raining a little bit. Get up, please. I think it might be a good idea to build a shelter in this region. Yeah, especially since we just saw that elk nearby. Let's come up here a little bit. Right smack in the middle of this big open marshland. We'll set up a shelter. All right, I like this spot right here. We're going to need some twigs, obviously, and we are tired. He's probably going to pass out at some point, but we'll get this built real fast, and we'll get back on the hunt. This will, of course, make it easier on us because now I can sleep in this area, even if it's raining, which is super important. Okay. All right, I've got the branches. Let's cut this one down. Okay, we need to sleep a little bit. Okay, gonna cut it down. Come on, buddy, stand up for me. There you go. All right, we've got 3. Okay, I like to build my shelters right next to the water, as I mentioned. So, and especially if there's a tree next to it, that's super helpful. But this is a good spot right here. So let's start it. He's probably gonna pass out here. Yeah, he's too tired, so we'll sleep a little bit. And I have to do this in stages. All right, repeat. There you go. He's okay. He's ready to drop. This is a miserable existence for him, guys, but don't worry. Once we get that first big kill, hey, what's going on there, Fatula? Appreciate you coming by. Yeah, once we get that first big kill, it's going to be so much nicer. Trust me, the whole world changes once you get that meat in you. You go from starving to fully fed. All right, let's quit dreaming. Let's get this done. Repeat the command. Boom. Yep, doing a little Unreal World stream today. Taking a break from the Cataclysm I've been playing a lot recently, just because it occurred to me that I've never actually streamed this game before. And that's a shame. That's a shame. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. And I've got a ton of edited content for it, you know, Let's Play series and stuff on the channel, but it's time to do a live stream. So let's see, we've been going for about hour 19 minutes already. And haven't caught a single thing. We have not had one bit of food in that whole time. So our character is definitely suffering right now. But the good news is we've had a couple of close calls, and I'm not done yet. In fact, I'm tempted to go try where that elk was we just left, but honestly, screw that. There's too many tracks there. It's a mess. All right, let's do shelter 2. There we go. It's important to keep notes. All right, so we're moving around, looking for nice, open, flat areas to hunt. Take a little drink here. There we go. Okay, delicious pond water. Yes, there could be fish in it, but actually, no, I think bodies of water that small won't have fish. But you can fish in this game. It's definitely a viable way of making a living, I guess. Oh, look at this. We've come to the coast. Oh, so we've reached the edge of the world here, folks. There it is. Look at that. Yes, we could hang out up here, set up a shelter just at the coastline, maybe even do some seal hunting. There are seals in the game, but it's extremely difficult to catch them. Even harder than a stupid elk, I'll tell you that much. All right, so we're getting weary again. It is evening. Let's pop back over to the shelter we just built. Get that full night's rest in us. Oh, he passed out before he made it. It's all right, buddy. Get in there. Nobody's judging you for falling down. We didn't set up any traps here, but really those bird traps we set around the other one are not going to keep us alive. They're more or less for making arrows down the road with the feathers. All right, so once again, need to sleep a little bit more. There we go. Once again, we're out on the hunt, desperately searching for a snake. We will try and hunt a snake. Actually, no, it's probably stupid to try and hunt a snake. I don't even see it. There's one thing you can do. Let's look. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the snake is right there. I didn't see that either, but yeah, I'm not confident that snakes are safe, especially considering all I have is a knife. So we'll just leave the snake alone. It's weird seeing a snake though. There's all kinds of animals in this game, I'll tell you that. And as I mentioned previously, there's even spirits and ghosts and stuff. Alright, so let's zoom out. We haven't been doing much towards our quest, but don't worry. We've still got 25 days. And in my experience, if we fail the quest, there's no negative repercussions. In fact, we'll probably get an opportunity to do it again. We're coming down here. New guy says, can you tell between venomous and non-venomous snakes in this game? No, I don't think so. No, sir. And I do know that snakes will get aggressive with you. Some animals don't. Like if you're in melee combat with like a, I don't know. Well, some animals will, some won't. I'll just say that. And snakes do get aggressive. So I don't like the idea of going toe-to-toe and risking the whole playthrough. Especially, and again, keep in mind, a snake is going to be very small amount of meat. It's not going to pull us away from the brink of starvation. I just spotted something. There we go. We got a badger. Oh, damn it. Badger's about 30 pounds, or give or take. But they're also very hard to wear out. And we've got a tree line just to the north. think we're set on bigger game. And don't worry if we get too desperate, I will just hunt whatever comes up. But god damn it, it's already dark again. All right, we're not going back to the shelter though. We're just going to keep pushing this direction for a little while. All right, let's sleep. When we started world generation, I made a note mentally that there is some good open terrain out here in this general area. And I think we're coming to it. I think we're just on the northern edge of this. So let's actually head this direction. Yeah, what we're looking for is this big open flat land here. Yes, this is nice. The more of it, the better. All right, let's stand up on top of this mountain. Get a little bit better view. Okay, we got a person. See this guy here? And we don't know if he's friendly or not. He could be a robber. And even though we don't have much, they would probably still want my knife and my clothing. So I'm going to avoid those guys for now. Again, if I had a pack of dogs with me, I might be more inclined to attack people or even bears, especially in wolves. But if I'm just by myself with no bow and arrow, no dogs, yeah, I'm not going to go for the dangerous stuff yet. Maybe down the road, if we survive. And if you guys want to see more live streams for this character, let me know. Let me know. All right, so we are currently, let's see, on day 7 of the 6th week before midsummer point. So we're still in early summer. That's important to note. Keep track of your times, because even though, like I said, we don't have to worry about temperature now, you know, in a couple of months we will, because the winters are deadly cold in this part of the world. Oh, look at that. You see it? Big, delicious, beautiful elk. Now, unfortunately, we're extremely tired, which means we need to sleep, but the endurance or, the fatigue level is not terrible. So I'm going to give this a try, even though we're not really in the best shape to be hunting. I mean, we're desperate, you know. So oh, look, there's a baby with her. Do you see it? There's 2 elks there, a big one and a little one standing right underneath the mother. This is actually extremely good for us. Yep, there's 2 elk and an elk calf right there. Let's go ahead and look. I mean, there's going to be nothing there, but it is much, much more likely we're going to catch one of these 2. Probably the little one, but we'll just see how this plays out. Okay, they're obviously running. This is great because this area is not covered with their tracks like the last spot. Okay, so we've reacquired visual. Let's look at the little one. It's a little bit fatigued. It's in its first stages of fatigue. So's the mother. Now, obviously, I'd rather get the mother, but I will say it's... Oh, Christ, there's a tree line dead ahead. Damn it. It's probably just one little spit of forest right there. Okay, good. They're not going into it. Okay, thank God. If they had ran into this thick forest up here, that would have made things 10 times more difficult. But she kind of turned south. Okay, there they are. Let's look at them. Still just a little bit and slightly fatigued. So we got to keep pushing them. I'm trying to get myself between them and the forest, you know. Oh, you jerks, don't. That's right. Don't go in there. I'm going to run. Just a little bit. So this stupid calf right here, it's like just... Okay, there it goes. Just ran into the damn forest, though. No. Very fresh elk tracks leading northwest. She ran into the forest too now. Crap. Gotta be... Oh, there she is. I see her dead ahead. Okay. She kind of moved out of the tree line a little bit. Where'd she go? Oh, damn. I think she ran... Yep, there's the little one. Okay, it's only slightly fatigued, but it's kind of out of the tree line now. Yes, there's the mother. Okay, we're doing good. Let's keep this up. I'm still very tired, but our endurance is not terrible. I mean, it's pretty bad actually, but we can still continue on. So, okay, we've lost visual. Let's continue to follow the tracks until we reacquire. What am I looking at right here? Trying to figure out what that is right there. Oh, I'm not worried about that. Let's see. Tracks are plain as day, but I don't. There's the little one. You see it? Just on the edge of the screen. Okay, it's still only slightly fatigued. There's the mother. She's still only slightly, so we're still trying to push them. Okay, they've just sprinted away. Now this is actually a good setup here. We've got a bunch of water, these little puddles around us. Believe it or not, that's helpful. Okay, there they are. Always checking the visuals on them. Okay, this is a good situation. So they've just split up. You see one ran in this direction. The little calf ran over here. The mother ran over here. Now, they're always inclined to try and group back up together. Okay, there's the little one, dead ahead. And it's now fatigued. So it's gone from slightly fatigued to fatigued. This is the middle stage. From here, we'll get it to very fatigued. And then the final stage is breathless. Once this animal is breathless, I can walk right up to it and just club it down. Like I don't need to sprint. It's literally like unable to escape at that point. And we will have it in the bag. But, all right, I'm going to start sprinting myself. This is risky because this is really going to start to add to our weariness here. So I got to be very careful with the amount of sprinting I do. Okay, I'm still sprinting, Okay, I've lost sight. I'm going to stop sprinting. But now I know that this little beastie here is going to continue to try and turn back towards its mother. So it should, there it is. Okay, it should be fairly easy to, it's very fatigued. So we are one stage away from this being breathless. I'm actually going to sprint again. Okay, it's still able to outrun me, but we're keeping the pressure on it. The only thing that could stop us now is if it ran into the forest again, but now you can start to see why I like to hunt in open fields like this. Nowhere near the forest. Where the hell is it? Okay, we should have spotted. There it is. And it's breathless. All right. All right. So you'll notice a couple things about it. It's still trying to escape. It says it's escaping, meaning it's still trying to sprint. But since it's breathless, you can see I'm literally just strolling right up to it. It cannot get away from me despite its attempts to run. It's moving, but at a very slow pace. I'm not sprinting at all. I'm just walking right up to it. All right, we're in melee. So I've got my broad knife wielded. It's the only weapon I have. It's in my hand. I'm going to wield it blunt to the legs. Okay, a weary animal like this, the first thing I'm trying to do is just knock it down. Okay, now the animal's unconscious. So I'm going to go blunt to the skull. We're going to finish this off. And in case you're wondering, no, I don't have to worry about the mother coming and like attacking me from the back or anything like that. That won't happen. Oh. Okay, look at the text box. I'm just repeating my blows to the skull over and over again until it dies. And it's dead. Oh, we've done it, folks. We have claimed our first big animal, quote unquote. It's an elk calf, so it's a small elk, but a small elk is a substantial beast, 166 pounds. And of course, that's before we skin and butcher it, but that is huge, guys. Right there has just gotten us out of the brink of starvation. We don't have to worry about it now for a little while. Of course, once that meat runs out, we're back to where we are now. But it's also possible to still hunt this mother down, the mother elk. And I'm tempted to try it. I'll say that. But at the same time, I don't want to push my luck because we are extremely tired. We are desperate to eat some of this elk right now. You know what? And I actually kind of like the spot we're at here. We got a tree trunk. I'm literally standing on it. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and set up shop here. We'll go ahead and make a shelter. But first, we're going to butcher this little animal. So let's drop it. Of course, to butcher, it needs to be at our feet. Can't be in the inventory. But before we butcher, it's important to note, for anybody new out there, you want to skin the animal first. If I were to butcher it before skinning it, you ruin the skin. You will not get a fur or a skin from the animal. So it's important to skin first and then butcher. Always remember that. All right, boom. You can, if you shoot enough holes or if you stab an animal enough before you kill it, you can ruin the skin that way, and then it doesn't matter. You won't be able to skin it at all, but the game will tell you that. All right, so we have skinned it, and I can tell because now... Oh, wait, no, I didn't skin it. Oh, he's too tired. Duh. Now we will skin it. Oh, needs to stand up to do that. There we go. So we just obtained an elk skin. It's a small one, but don't worry, we're going to get a lot more meat from that than we did skin. All right, now we're butchering. Beautiful. And we got some bones. Bones are good for crafting. With the mods I've got, we can do some bone crafts, but they're also great for feeding to your dogs once you get some. So we've got ourselves 75 cuts of meat. That's 75 pounds of raw meat right there, plus the fat. But we're going to go ahead and get the skin processing. I know I'm putting off the eating, but at this point it's not the end of the world. We're not going to starve in the next minute, so I think we're okay. No. All right, so what I'm going to do is get a little bit of branches here for firewood, and we're going to cook this meat up, boys. Yes. All right, we'll do this right here by our skin. Oh, I already had branches on me. Whoops. Actually, let me grab those again. Drop. So I'm just going to do the minimal amount, 3 branches. And there's a reason for that. Okay, so we've got a tiny, tiny little fire going. And I'm going to roast 10 cuts of meat here. Okay. Now, if you had a big fire, like a bonfire raging, and it was lasting for a long time, you could burn your meat. You know what I'm saying? If I let this sit here for too long, the meat would eventually burn and become spoiled. But with this tiny little fire, by the time this thing burns out, the meat will be cooked. So it's pretty much a guarantee not to burn it when you're doing a small fire like that. So let's move around a little bit and think about our shelter. I'm going to move this trunk a little bit closer. Okay. Oh, and we're ready to drop again. Okay, stop moving. But you can see, oh, check this out, guys. The meat should be done. The fire's out. Oh, nope. Not quite yet. I think we need a slightly bigger fire for that amount of meat, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. We'll sleep a little bit. And now we should be good. There we are. 10 roasted elk cuts. Oh my God. And of course, I'm going to order him to eat those right away. Now, it should be noted, another side note, I've still got 65 pounds of raw elk meat in my inventory next to the roasted. The only reason I bring that up is because at this point, with his level of starvation, he would eat that raw meat because he's desperate and it would make him sick. So just be careful not to accidentally feed him the raw meat instead of the roasted stuff. It's also another reason I don't recommend carrying around poisonous mushrooms in your inventory. Like if you're trying to identify them or something, or for whatever reason you happen to pick some poisonous mushrooms, don't carry them around. Just drop them. Because if you eat one, you're going to freaking drop dead. But anyway, that's totally side note. We have just gotten ourselves out of starvation. So it's represented in 2 ways here. Verbally, it says insufficient, which is okay. It's better than starving. Insufficient is better than starving. And eventually we'll get this up. It'll be replaced. But the bar itself takes a while. We're going to need to consistently feed him for a few days before this bar retracts and goes back to 0. So we're not totally out of the clear, but with the amount of meat we've got, we're okay. It's not going to go rotten or anything. But we need to keep focused on our shelter here. Yeah, let's go ahead. I need some small or some slender trunks. We're going to fell this little tree with our knife. And I'm going to move 3 of these to the spot. Okay. Zoom back in. It's a good spot, I think. Actually, let's move closer to the tree. There we go. All right. Not too bad. We're still tired, but it's time to eat. Oh, I just tried to feed him the raw meat, but he wouldn't eat it now. Thank God. All right, go to bed. See, even I fall prey to the advice I just gave you guys. There's one way to deal with that. I think if we drop it, let's just test this. If I were to drop the meat, the raw stuff on the ground, and then I go to pick it up again, yeah, now the raw stuff is at the bottom of the list and the roasted stuff is at the top. So that's kind of how it sorts it in your inventory. Like the latest stuff you picked up will thread to the bottom. So that's just one little way of avoiding eating raw meat, I guess. All right, let's pick up that skin. It's still partially finished. There we go. We'll let that work while we work on this. I'm not going to let that elk skin go rotten. You can count on that. Okay, so he's still not quite done with the shelter. We're taking a lunch break. Again, to get ourselves out of starvation, I need to make sure to regularly feed him. Okay, and let's go ahead and just sleep. Good. He's been out on the hunt for so long, starving. I think it's good to give him a nice little rest. Make sure he's full. There we go. And we've got our shelter built. Finally. Took like 4 attempts. So I'm going to go ahead and put shelter 3. There we go. And let's check on the skin here. Okay, so this is ready for the final stages, which means we need this trunk right here. I want it to be nice and close to my shelter. In fact, we'll just put it in the shelter. All right, final stage. Boom. Took an hour and 21 minutes here. Look at that. We've got ourselves an elk fur. 2.5 pounds. So it's a pretty small one. Like if we had killed the mother, this would be like a 20-pound fur. But I mean, I'll take it. You know, I could probably trade for an axe possibly for this, maybe with a little bit of the meat thrown in there to sweeten the deal. So the only problem is it's kind of difficult to find axes up north. So in the different cultures throughout the world, zoom out and turn on the cultures, they kind of specialize in different things. The Owl tribe are definitely archers. You will find the best bows in the game in the villages of the Owl tribes. They're called northern bows, and you might get lucky and find a masterwork northern bow. If you want the richest culture in the game, it's this one right here. Also one of the smallest, the Drick. These guys have the best armor. You go down here with a bunch of meat and furs and stuff. You're going to come out with an iron helmet. You're going to come out with like a chainmail cuirass. Tons of great armor and weapons and stuff. So this is often the destination for my like large trading trips and stuff. But we'll visit them at some point in the future. And again, like I said, the different cultures do Drick like drip, more like drip. That's right. They are all dripped out, my friend. Better believe it. Good to see you're still with us, Voom. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you. All right, so let's see. We need to rest. See, my total is 110 just because I finished off that skin. So literally won't be able to move right now. You're an island tribe kind of guy. Nice, Alex. Nice. So Alex is talking about the blue down here, right next to the Drick. In fact, if we had this, you love the fishing, right on, bro. If we had this opened, if it wasn't all black here, if I had actually explored this area, you would see a large part of this culture is actually in the water on islands spread across the islands. So if you don't have a raft or a punt, it can be difficult to get to them. But yeah, that's a good one. You know, I have a series too where I start on an island and I force the character to like get off of it and go to the mainland and build a raft. It's one of the mini-series linked in the description there. But anyway, so let's see how we doing here. Just thinking what our next moves should be. So One thing to keep in mind, I'll explain the preservation of meat real briefly. There's 4 different types of ways you can prepare meat in the vanilla. You can roast it, like we've just done, next to a fire, which preserves it for the least amount of time. This roasted meat will go bad in like 2 days, 2 or 3 days, okay, if we don't eat it. Then you can salt meat. If you buy a bag of salt from like the Drick culture, who's very wealthy, they have tons of salt, you can salt meat. That is the way of preserving, which makes it last the second least longest. So there's also smoking and then drying beyond that. Drying will make it last the longest, smoking is second longest, then salting, then roasting. So we cannot dry meat in the summer. It's just too hot and humid. Drying meat's only possible during the winter months. Smoking, however, we can do in the summer if we have an enclosed room. So you have to have a room with a fireplace capable of producing smoke, and we don't have that. This little shelter right here is not capable of smoking meat. Reminds me of the Cataclysm Island starts building a raft. That's right, man. That's exactly right, Boom. In fact, I've often thought in my head, like, if I did the In the Woods, playthrough for Cataclysm, it would be very similar to this game in certain ways, just straight up wilderness survival, basically. So anyway, the whole reason I mentioned the smoking of the meat is because it is possible to do it in some NPC villages. If we were to come and explore and find the village for the local owl tribe, I could probably smoke that meat there. But I'm thinking I might just go ahead and roast it up. You know what? I think we will. I think we'll roast it and trade some of it away. That might be the best thing. Huh. All right, so here's the idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a village, and we're going to take this fur with us because we can trade that too. I've got my bones. I don't have the squirrel fur. Unfortunately, that's back to the south where we left it, but I'm not going to make a trip all the way down there just for a stupid squirrel fur. It's not really worth it. But we're going to try and go do some trading. The Nerpezzets are bastards. Lost a campaign to them. Oh, tell me about it, Alex. Yeah, I've lost many a character fighting Nerpezzets. 100%. Okay, so let's exit. As I kind of alluded to, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a settlement right down here. So let's just head to the south until we come across it. Making sure to stop and eat. That's something that I kind of struggle with sometimes when I'm on a long-term starvation kick. You're not feeding your character because you don't have food. Then once you actually do get food, it's easy to forget to feed your character because you haven't been doing it, for the past week. So you just get into a routine where you guys start starving again and you've got food on you. Time to pillage. No pillaging yet, Boom. Not just yet, buddy. I don't even have a weapon. All I have is the knife. We're going to go in peaceful and do some trading, my friend. All right, there we go. So we've just discovered a village. We're going to be nice, but if you guys want to see some raiding, we can definitely do that. It's just, it takes preparation and a lot more wealth and trade goods than we currently have. So it's a project for the future, no doubt about it. But I'm up for that. All right, so we've just come into a brand new settlement. I always like to greet the first person I see because they'll tell you if there's a quest in the village. If they're not the quest giver themselves, they'll be like, hey, this person wants to talk to you. He's over there. And then there's a quest here. But he doesn't have any quests here today, so that's okay. We're still here for a purpose. Now look at this. Oh, look at this beautiful little boy. We've got a little puppy dog just ran up to us. Isn't that cute? Now this puppy dog belongs to the village, but they might actually be willing to trade a dog. Let's see. Food, I know. We got some food, buddy. We got food. All right, so we're going to ask this guy right here, B, buy an animal. What kind of animals we have? A reindeer for sale. Okay, yeah. So they have dogs, but they're not selling dogs at the moment, just the reindeer. Which, I mean, reindeer are cool to have around and stuff, but They're just basically a meat animal. They don't serve a purpose for like guarding or attacking or anything. Man, people said living back then was hard, but with the food walks right up to you. I'm not gonna eat the dog, damn it. No, I get you though. I have eaten dog in this game. That's one of the things that happens when you go into raid one of the Nerpezet is often I always bring dogs with me when I go on a raid, and sometimes the dogs will get killed in battle. And I mean, there's no reason to waste good meat, you know. If you're walking around the scene of a battle after the fact, and you find one of your dead dogs, you don't just leave it there to rot. I'll tell you that much. All right, so I just picked up a bow and some arrows here. Although I have a feeling we don't have enough for these, but we'll just see what he says here. All right, so we're going to trade items, okay? And right now we're offering stuff. You can see here's the bow and the arrows. They say unpaid, so those are their goods. Now it's asking me to select items of ours, which will pay for those. Oh my God, look at this. The elk meat has already started to go stale. Jesus Christ, that did not take long. Let's see. Stale elk cuts, no thank you. Damn it. So he's not even willing to accept those at all. It's okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to find a fire. Okay, that's... Oftentimes these villages will have fires lit. Let me see here. I don't think they have one lit here. No. Damn it. It's probably not till nighttime. They're not going to light their fires. So we'll just come out here kind of to the edge of the village. Let me grab that stick right there. Okay. Don't want to light fires inside the village. They get pissed about that because you could effectively set their little tents on fire and stuff if you aren't careful. But if we step away a few steps, they won't get upset with me starting a fire out here, I don't think. Nope. They're okay with it. Okay, so we've got a little rager going. This isn't a true bonfire or anything, but it's a bit bigger than the first fire we started. And I'm going to start roasting up all these cuts real quick. Making sure to stop for lunch. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because as they go stale, that's like one stage away from rotting, basically. So we don't want that to happen, obviously. And roasting them will kind of rejuvenate the meat, so to speak. But again, it's only going to be good for a couple of days once it's roasted. Okay. There we go. And each time I roast a new stack, I try to pick up what's already being prepared. Again, because I don't want it to sit by the fire for too long. So there's another 10. Now I'll try to pick it up. There we go. So I'm picking up the latest that is finished. And we'll go back to cooking. I've got 15 cuts left. We do stacks of 10 at a time for maximum. You can do less than that, but I don't see a reason. All right. So I'm actually going to cook up 4 of these. There's only 5 pieces left. I'm going to cook up 4. And one of them we're going to sacrifice, even though it's stale. There we go. We gently place the elk cut on the ground as a sacrifice, and we feel at ease with the world. You know what I have been forgetting to do is say the prayer before going to sleep, which has been stupid of me, and I should. But I'll try and remember that. Okay, so we've got just a whole bunch of food at our feet, like 30 cuts of roasted elk. I kind of need to just hang out in this area for a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut down some of these saplings. Oh, okay. I just got notified of something there. I wasn't sure if it was the villagers yelling at me or what. The divine beings are angry with your stale cut of meat. You know, I think the Greeks used to have like a tradition where when they would sacrifice like a goat, they would take the good cuts of meat for themselves and they would wrap like the organs and the bones in the sheep's skin and offer that to like the temple, hoping to trick the god into, you know, not recognizing the fact that they took all the good stuff for themselves. So we're kind of doing that same thing. We'll keep all the good stuff. The gods can have like the stale stuff. That's fine. That's fine. They don't really need it. It's just for their ego. All right, let's grab that. there we go. So these little saplings I'm cutting down are great for making primitive cordage. And we'll do that here shortly. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make some real quick. So Y, B. Okay, so now it's asking me how many saplings. See, it says use spruce saplings here. We've got 2 of them. Pretty simple recipe. All it takes is a knife, which we can do. But the thing about this cordage is it's very, very primitive. Samuel says, Zeus, roast your stale meat in the comments. Samuel. It's not a chicken, though. So, okay, so we've got some withies. See these? Spruce withies is how I've been told that's pronounced. I don't know. Withies. I used to say withes, but then I was corrected at one point. But anyway, so these are very primitive type of cordage. You can't like make clothing with this. It's just a small sapling like twisted up. But what you can do with this is dry and preserve meat. So once we get to that stage where we're actually preserving our kills, whether it's through smoking or drying, we're going to need a whole lot of those primitive cordages. All right, so the meat is fully cooked up. Let's look here. Where is it? Yeah, look at that. We've got 64 cuts of roasted elk, -1 for the gods. Now, sir, are you willing to trade for my roasted meat? Mr. Picky over here won't eat raw, stale meat. What the frick? And on second thought, let's hold that. I think I probably still wouldn't be able to afford a northern bow with the amount of meat we've got. That's just too pricey. So what we're going to do, we're going to be smart about this. I'm going to ask help or I'm going to ask for directions. No. I want to ask for help or company. There we go. And at the bottom, it says, is there a blacksmith here? Yes, we have Vool. At least a moment ago, he was wandering around to the southeast. So let's find this village's blacksmith. Not all, there, I see him right there. Not all villages have them, and not all blacksmiths are the same quality. That guy looks so trustworthy. Boom, you're hilarious. So you can see the big old beefy guy with the apron on. This is their blacksmith. They always look the same. There he is. All right, let's greet this gentleman. So when we talk to him, let me do that again. Oops. So when I greet him, he offers me his metalworking services. I would like to order some. Okay, and he also tells me that the goods he produces are of fine quality, which is nice. It's not the best. The best is masterwork. So if you find like a masterwork blacksmith in a village, you probably want to mark that on your map and go back to him again and again. But we can order certain goods from this guy now. So this is pretty amazing. And fine quality is nothing to sneeze at. We are going to ask him to make us an axe. A hand axe. Here we go. Boom says, bro, looks like he's about to beat you for your blasphemy. I know, he looks very stern, doesn't he, right now? Eric, hold out for MW. The price isn't that different. Hold out for masterwork. Oh, okay. I sure will, man. That's actually not a bad suggestion. So Eric's basically saying, don't buy anything from that blacksmith. Let's leave this village. And, oh, I didn't mean to sleep. I'm trying to use commands for Cataclysm. All right, we need to leave this village and look around for a masterwork one. Which, again, can be kind of hard to find, but it's random, So there are a lot of blacksmiths in the world. When he first came out with the blacksmith patch, like I was anticipating you might like find one in a culture, 2 maybe in a big populated area, but no, it's literally like every 3rd village you come across has a blacksmith. But anyway, so see, the thing about waiting is, and like searching for a masterwork blacksmith, is I got to open up a bunch of these areas, traipse around through their culture, which isn't like bad or anything. It's just a long process. Tell you what, I think I appreciate the suggestion, but for starters, since we literally don't have an axe, I'm going to just order a fine one from this guy. Where did he go? That way it'll prevent me from having to make like a stone one in the meantime. Okay, I don't see him. And it's important to note, too, that when we put in this order, I don't pay him up front. Where did he go? Let me ask this lady right here. Yeah, he'll tell you the time frame. He'll be like, okay, that'll take me a week or whatever. And then, northeast. Yeah, then you come back and pay upon delivery. So like the meat that I've got, we'll probably end up just keeping that and trading it for something else. Okay, here he is. Let's greet him. And also, I don't have to come back here and get this axe, you know. If we're moving around, you know, Eric, and I find a blacksmith with a masterwork quality, we'll just buy from him and screw this guy. All right, so let's just get an axe. Hand axe, please. All right, yeah, come back in a week. Okay, good. It's a deal, buddy. And if we forget, we can look at the world map and see... There's a little bit, it's hard to see because my red dot is in the way, but it is marked here with a white circle. Looks like a little donut. It makes the masterwork spear possible now. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Wait, so we can order a masterwork northern spear from one of these? I never thought about that. Yeah. Wait, can we order one from him? I mean, I know it's only fine quality, but let me just see. He probably won't let me now since we just put an order in. Oh, let me try it again. Yeah, I can't order from him again, but we'll keep looking. Great suggestions, Eric. I appreciate you out there, buddy. Helping me out. Okay, so they didn't have any dogs for sale. Nope. Trying to think about what we might want to buy with this meat. I'm almost tempted to hire one of these people to come with me instead of just buying goods right now. Look, for instance, if I can find one of these guys with a bow and arrow on him, I'm going to see if he wants to join me on an adventure. And we'll try and hunt a bear or something. Come here, dude. Walking off into the forest and stuff. All right, so this guy's got... a broad axe, a woodsman's axe, a short bow, and 15 arrows. Okay. It's not the best bow in the world, but he might be willing. It's worth a shot. So, again, you can hire NPCs like this. There are consequences if they get killed or, like, they never return to the village for whatever reason. Murder. But they're not super, like, dire consequences. I won't get into the details of it now, but we're okay. We're going to go to H to ask for help or company, and there's no guarantee he'll say yes. And we say... I'd like to hire a helping hand. Interested? Pillage his corpse. Oh, Samuel, I guarantee if this guy gets killed while he's in our company, I'm going to be looting his corpse. Now, he said he's not interested. I think he just heard me. Why did I sleep? For the love of God. All right, so that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. But quit talking about murdering these guys because then nobody's ever going to want to join me. All right, here's another dude. You can kind of tell which guys are going to be outfitted with gear and which ones won't. All right, he's got a spruce quick bow. Oh, he's got a northern spear on him, though. They have narcolepsy in this game. Nice, yeah. If you go on a raft, he'll follow until he drowns. Not your fault. Exactly. You know what it is, guys, too, the Cataclysm crew out there. Shift Z, which is like the zoom in and out, is actually how you sleep in this game. So that's why I keep falling asleep occasionally. It's because I'm trying to zoom in and out, which in this game is control plus the plus minus buttons. So yeah, it's I'm definitely confusing myself here with this, but I really appreciate you guys from the Cataclysm crew coming over and watching me play this one. Thank you again, guys. And don't worry, we're going to be getting back to our boy Cataclysm in the future, in the very near future, certainly. But anyway, so this is just basically a vintage story. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's chat with this guy here. H2. So this rather jolly-looking gentleman says he will come with us. He's prepared to work for a few days. They don't come indefinitely, but he wants food with them. Yep, there it is. as I kind of mentioned earlier in the live stream, if you want to hire people, you need food. You're also going to want to pay them with something for their work once they leave your service, but food is essential to hire them. All right, I'll give you what you need, buddy. And he doesn't tell us how much, but in my experience, you give him about 6 to 8 cuts, and that's good enough. Well, there's 10 cuts right there. Okay, so he just took 10 of my roasted meat, but that's okay. I'll tell you a little cheat. It's not a cheat. It's a bit of an exploit. But if you come up to the person and use the command to pick up something next to you, you can actually go back into his inventory and take back the meat that you've just given him. I'm not going to do that. And you can also take his spruce quick bow and his loop snare. But yeah, I won't do that. But again, you know, if you're really, really desperate, you can grab that food pack. He'll get pissed and he'll say something. He'll be like, I have no food to eat, but he's not going to leave your service. So anything, and nothing spoils an NPC inventories. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that, Eric. That's helpful. Repay them with an iron arrow. Well-placed one. Ah, boom. All right, so we've got a friend, and he's got a bow and arrow, and we're leaving the village. Who knows if this gentleman will ever see his home again. But I can tell you that if we come across a bear, this guy's going to be leading the charge. All right, so let's zoom out a little bit. I think we're just headed north at this point. Let me make sure to eat. God, you know what? I should have probably hired 2 or 3 dudes. With the amount of meat I've got on me, I could afford it. Well, we'll just stick with our plan for now. Okay, so here's our shelter. And not seeing any animals to hunt just yet. So no big deal. Let's see, you can also sell food to them for stuff, then ask if they have what they need, and they'll say they are ready to go. Oh, Eric, that is a tip I was aware of. Yeah, you're right. If I were to trade with that guy and trade him food, and he had it in his inventory, that's right, then he won't want food to start with. And I guess also, if they just happen to have food in their inventory for whatever reason, that's true. But yeah, it's a very good point. Oh, look at this. So there's small elk tracks, like literally running through our camp area. Oh, well, that's probably because we built this shelter right next to the small elk we killed, didn't we? Duh. All right, so let's see. Which means the mother might still be in the area. Let's just pop into the local terrain a little bit. We got our buddy with us. I'm going to actually step into the water. Cool us off a little bit. Okay, we're just moving around, looking for elk tracks or elk themselves. I would actually love to encounter a bear and see how good this guy is. It's funny the different levels of abilities the NPCs have. I've literally seen NPCs one-shot an elk before. In fact, that Islander series I mentioned, where I started off on an island, that was basically how I got off the island, was I hired an NPC who was just wandering woodsman, and I ordered him to attack an elk, and the dude killed it in one hit. All right, look at this. We're going to raid a bird's nest here. You can wrestle a bear, immersion broken. Yes, and I will not be wrestling it myself. So we just got some eggs. That's interesting. You might have noticed I also took the feathers. Those are going to be for crafting arrows down the road. But yeah, there's actually some recipes. As I mentioned too, guys, I don't know if you're just tuning in, I do have a whole bunch of mods installed. So if you're familiar with the game, you'll notice there's a lot more options here for crafting than there are in the vanilla version of the game. But if we go to our cooking screen real quick, yeah, you'll see there's just a whole bunch of recipes. You can make porridge, baking stuff. There's also vegetarian recipes and stuff. Look at this. Roasted turnips, pea soup, mushroom soup, tons of stuff. Yeah, the mod collection is actually linked down below too in the description. So if anybody out there wants to play the game, it's all the helpful links are down below. All right, Let's see. Just looking around. We're getting tired, though. And as I mentioned, this guy's only with us for a short amount of time, a couple of days. So we want to take advantage of him while he's here. Now, one thing I forgot was, did he have an axe on him? I can't remember. Let's look at him again. He's got a knife. No axe. He's got that northern spear, though. I tell you, if this guy dies, that spear is mine. All right, we're still tired. There we go. And damn, we got a lot of meat on us. I think the birds are coming looking for their eggs. See that black grouse just sitting up there? If that guy dies. I said if. I qualified it. Poor guy. What's this guy's name? Did I even introduce myself to him? Hold on, let's talk to this guy real quick. This is making me want to play your In the Woods Dino idea. I know, man. I might be playing that series sooner rather than later, believe it or not. All right. Who are you? We don't even know this guy's name. Look, I am Lord Kamalanian. That's how we introduce ourselves. This guy's name is Lord. It's not a title. That's his name. All right, so now we've introduced ourselves to our sacrificial lamb. I mean, our companion. Let me look around real quick. All right, we'll just continue heading north. There's a lot of open territories. So this game used to have a murder hobo vibe until the big no eating humans patch. I remember that. Yeah, now if you try and butcher a human, it pops up with like a message. It says, you can't do that or something. But yeah, I do remember the days back when you used to butcher, been able to engage in cannibalism. It's a weird one, but he took it out. Oh, where your dad is dead. Oh, that's gruesome as hell, man. That is so gruesome. And you just butcher him. Why can't he get into that? A bit too slow for me. Oh, really? Boom, is it? Interesting. Then give the cuts to the villagers. Oh, wow. Now that's even weirder. Imagine some guy coming in, telling a story about how his dad dies, and then he offers some strange meat to you for trade. To get them to follow you. And then take them out and sacrifice them. Oh, horrible. I can kind of see why he took that out of the game. I mean, hell, if you play RimWorld, you'll know that game. It's kind of its unofficial title is War Crime Simulator. You do some pretty twisted crap in that game for sure. Yeah, I had to go. Yeah. A little bit too strange, but it's okay. I like games that will give you options like that. I'm not saying I like cannibalism, but the absolute freedom does appeal to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like in Cataclysm, a game I've been playing a lot recently, you could probably do that. Hey, Barry, what's up, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. I'm not from Geneva. War crimes are a myth. Samuel. You're incorrigible. Barry, thanks for stopping by the live stream, buddy. Changing it up a little bit today, just doing some Unreal World. I know you're familiar with this one, but it's a popular one on the channel, and I've never actually streamed this game before, ever. So, figured here we go. If Cataclysm did that, you get about 200 Reddit posts. The devs are taking out the fun. Yeah, there'd be people all pissed about it. Oh, now this is interesting. So we've just come across another human out on the road here, out on the trail. If this is a robber, though, there's usually 2 or 3 of them in a group. And with just me and my buddy here, I'm still a little nervous about taking on a set of robbers. So we'll avoid them for now. Murder him, do or die. Nothing wrong with that. Got to see what is the most to do for live streams. That's right, my friend. That is right. Plus, I feel bad because I know there's a lot of folks out there who love this game and really enjoy watching it. And there's almost no other content on YouTube for it for some reason. It was actually a surprise to me, too. When I first started making content for this game, I was a little bit surprised that anybody wanted to watch it. Oh, look at this. So he's talking to me. Your companions will occasionally tell you how much time they've got left. So he's got like 3 days left, basically. See, I'm forgetting to feed him. I've been debating between Long Dark, Card Survival, My Influence, right on, or Pacific Drive for my next screen, Barry. Nice, 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 nice. I love the Long Dark. It's got a pretty good following on YouTube, pretty good community, especially if you're a good player. I mean, it's been out so long that there are people who just know every nook and cranny of that game, you know. But yeah, I love the Long Dark. So atmospheric, just really puts you in the mood. It's one of those games like when the winter comes around in real life, I'm like, oh, this makes me when I'm cold and I want to play some Long Dark. All right, let's look at the map. We're not having any luck in this general vicinity, so maybe should we backtrack and maybe head to some of our previous shelters? Start to jump around. Oh, Barry says you're not good. I've been watching a dude named Zach Nafane. Yep, I know Zach Nafane, who apparently has 4 or 5 beta testers for the newer Misery mod. Yep. I know Zach Nafane. I watch his stuff. He's definitely one of the big Long Dark YouTubers. I mean, big relatively. I think he's got, like 40,000 subs, which is a respectable amount. I wish I had that many. But yeah, he's great at the game. And he's one of those that knows every nook and cranny of it. Like, they just released a brand new difficulty level for that game too, didn't they? So it used to be Interloper was the hardest, but now there's an even harder challenge level beyond that. All right, let's see. Okay, we're heading up this way. I haven't bought the DLC for it, which I really need to. Misery, that's it, yeah. I need to watch like a cool Misery playthrough, probably from him. Zach would be a good one. I like him because his channel is named after a character in one of my favorite Dungeons and Dragons series, The Crystal Shard or The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. Yeah, Drizzt's father is called Zach Nafane, which I'm pretty sure is where the YouTuber got that name from. It's too unique of a name not to be. He's doing one like 7 to 8 in, The Dark Elf, man. Great book series. Literally like at least 100 books in that series. The Drizzt saga. Awesome. Highly recommend it. All right, so... Oh, okay, you've been doing some D&D campaigns, I should say. Legend of Drizzt. Yep, buddy. It's a great one. Let's see here. Also by R.A. Salvatore, which is good. In the Same World, The Cleric Quintet. Very cool one. All right, so this was not the spot we left our little squirrel fur at, was it? Unfortunately. Okay. Let's see. I dislike how Long Dark is too focused on scavenging buildings versus wilderness scavenging. Yeah, that's a good point, man. And Dr. Pasta, I remember one of the early roadmaps that they put out there, the development studio did. Hinterland Studios, I think they're called. It talked about like some more like forest survival stuff. Like you could plant some plants which have never been implemented in the game, sadly. And I don't know if they've kind of like gotten away from that as one of their ultimate goals or what. But yeah, I will be honest and say some of the development decisions in that game have disappointed me over the years. But I mean, overall, it's still an amazing survival game nonetheless. And I do like it a lot. Oh, I've got some series on my channel for it too, but I'm not very good at it. Let's see. Most games are like that. Even Cataclysm has bad In a Woods experience without the mod. And Cataclysm was one of the most complex games. Definitely. I would agree with that. Whoops. Just got down. Let's see. Barry says, yeah, I'm a giant nerd. Anime collection of my games from all when I was a kid. I have an NES. Oh, nice, dude. That's probably worth a lot. Dreamcast, it goes on. I'm broke. I just keep my stuff. Yeah, when I was young, I used to pawn and sell my stuff to like game shops and stuff. Trying to afford whatever. I regret that now. All right, we've got 2 more days with this guy. No problem. I tell you, the hunting is very scarce here in the summertime. That ain't no lie. I love playing UnReal World, but the menu navigation kills me. Yeah, Dr. Pasta. It's tough. It is tough. This is one of those games like Dwarf Fortress or Cataclysm, like we're talking about, where muscle memory becomes so important to the game. You know, you once you get past that initial like really really annoying phase where you got to learn the button mashes, it becomes satisfying and easy to control. But yeah, initially it's a nightmare. I went with the FF7 Final Fantasy 7 for PC and spent $50 on it, and they wanted to give me 7. Yeah, and that was the only time you tried it. Yep, that sounds about right. Actually, that's a good deal. I mean, compared to what you would probably get at most places, $7. You'd be lucky if you get 2 at the places I went to. Muscle memory that doesn't even transfer from roguelike to roguelike. Exactly, exactly, bro. That's why I'm falling asleep when I'm trying to zoom out of my game and stuff. My muscle memory from Cataclysm. And I just start to get that down, and then I switch it up and play a whole different game. What the hell's wrong with me? It's okay. This is one I've played for many, many years. So like I could probably control this one. You know, drunk, probably really, really stoned. I could control it. Just kidding. Tired, half asleep. Okay, so well, I tell you what, man, it has been a tough run so far, but we did end up with a very lucky kill. So we're not dead, guys. And I'm just checking out. Still nothing in our traps there. Huh, that's disappointing, but oh well. Drunk Stone, don't threaten me with a good weekend. Right on, Barry. Right on, buddy. Well, I think I'm going to end the stream here today, guys. Just a little over 2 hours. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm going to kick back on my air conditioner and get something to eat and stuff. But again, I really appreciate everybody who's been hanging out with the Unreal World. Of course, I'm not going to delete this character here. We will save him. And let me just load up another character for you guys real quick. This is Athena. This is the female character I alluded to. I've done a series with her before, but you can see this is kind of what like an established area would look like. So she built all this by hand. You know, we just stumbled into this area. It's just a particular field on the map that we picked out. We've got a fence all around the compound here. And you can actually see we're in the midst of building another structure right behind the main house. Actually, I was going to try and expand this one. Yeah, now that memory serves. This is her cabin with all her loot, her fish. She's got 2 stoves and stuff. And let's take a look at the animals over here. You can see we got the males are in this side. We got bulls and rams over here. In the middle, we got our dogs. Over here, we got cows and sheep. And these we can actually milk. If I were to climb over this, we could milk these animals and stuff. But just wanted to show that real quick. Yeah, this was part of my Spirit Quest series. This is Athena is from. So yeah, once again, if you want to watch this or one of my other Unreal World series, it's all linked in the description of this live stream. And of course, I'll be putting the VOD for this one up on the channel too. And if we get enough views on it, I'll do more. You know, we'll have an Unreal World stream in addition to the Cataclysm streams, guys, which of course will continue. So I appreciate everybody out there. Thanks again for stopping by, hanging out with me, and I will see you all on the next one.